what are the problems you wanted sorted out? If you list one or two issues that are problems and you say, look, this is my wish list. This needs to be sorted out quickly for us to grow here.
So I think that very important is putting the policy and, one of the topic here has also been policy and pragmatism. I think that the pragmatic policies are very important. And what you mentioned about the center-state relationship also. So whenever any policy is being declared by pounded by the government and even the central government, they have to think about the pragmatism of that and see that whether it can be implemented or not.
Can you give an example of, any concrete thing that you want to change in policy?
Yeah, so let's suppose that today when we are talking about, I'll address the issue of infrastructure, because I think that it is very important, because if you have proper infrastructure, whether it be services, agriculture, industries, everything can come up. So when we are talking about power, let's take power, because power is one of the essential inputs for service, for agriculture, for manufacturing. So therefore the policies on power is not very pragmatic, both from the central government side and from the state. So state also has a policy that they would like to promote more of the government sector. Similarly, the center has also not come out with a policy to enable the states to allow private sector to come in. So therefore, there are a lot of talks which you may be hearing, and you have the intent is there, both of the central government and the state government, but it is not getting implemented. The intent has been there for the last 20 years, but it has not happened. So therefore, where is the gap? The gap is the policies are not pragmatic. So how do you bring in those pragmatic policies, which is not a big problem? There are simple solutions for it. But therefore, the industry and the government, their interaction, they are being able to have a positive discussion to come out with certain suggestions and can get implemented, which is pragmatic. So I think that there is no problem as such. It's just unlocking these small issues.
Great. I mean, that's a good suggestion. We are running virtually out of time, but Mr. Ghosh, what would be one or two of your points that you think, particularly you deal with finance, the MSME sector, what can the center do? Has it done enough?
No, the central, I am coming to the another point on that.
We are, and I have to give Rudra a last chance also to speak. So, yeah.
But if you see that the West Bengal is a high density population.
Right.
It cannot be compared with the Maharashtra. Their population density is low. So till now, if you compare with even Tamil Nadu population is a 6 crore 30 districts administrative office. And Calcutta is a 23, but 9 crores the population. So it's a need to split the administration, then you can manage the very good way to focusing in the ground level and help to the people and more.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Rudra, you've got a minute.
I think very simply, and like we should take a target. We have a population of 9 crores, 90 million, as Mr. Ghosh said. GDP, state GDP of $200 billion. Let's look at Vietnam, $250 billion, same population. Furniture exports, food processing exports. We should have a 5-year target, and I think it's a great time now before the elections for the center of state to get together and say, how do we make West Bengal equal to Vietnam, $250 billion in the next 3 years? What do we do in food processing? What do we do in furniture exports? What do we do in textile exports? We can keep a very specific thing, and I think people of Bengal should ask the government, center and state, to come together for the benefit of the Bengal, irrespective of who comes to power, and take this state to $250 billion in the next 3-4 years.